on the road, and we've got plenty of things to chat with Peter Loubardias with, longtime Calgary Flames broadcaster. He joins us on video chat here today. Lou, always good to see you. Always great for the time. Clearly a lot of topics to get to, but if you don't mind, Flames at Detroit tonight looking for their first win. What's your preview of the game? What are you going to be looking for tonight?
Well, the Flames have put 90 shots up, Roddy, in a couple of games and have only scored 4 times. I think their process has been good. They haven't generated as many high-quality opportunities as they would have liked. Even in the game in Edmonton on Saturday, I thought 5-on-5, they did a really, really nice job. But the difference in both their games is they haven't been able to take full advantage of the time when they have been better than their opponent. So, Detroit's off to a really nice start. Steve Yzerman's starting to work his magic a little bit. He's upgraded his defense, not just bringing in 20-year-old youngster Moritz Seider, but they added Nick Leddy in the offseason. They added Mark Stahl last year. So, that area is so important, and Thomas Greiss is playing lights out right now. So it is a game that starts a 5-game trip for the local guys, and they want to get off to a good start.
You heard us talking about where you allocate your money, and that Brady Tkachuk deal, long-term deal at $8 million per season. Did they overpay in Ottawa for Brady? I don't believe that they did. I like those heart and soul captain type guys, but I think you like this debate. Where do you think the balance of your dollars should be spent when disseminating a salary cap?
Well, Roddy, I don't know if I've said this on the show before, probably, because I repeat most things I find, but philosophically, here's how I look at things. I look at signing players a lot like I look at marriage. And that is, if you're going to sign somebody long-term and invest a lot, you better be prepared to invest a lot. And more often than not, you better get it right. And, I'm always been big on leadership, intangibles. I understand without great skill, we always pay for skill. We don't always pay for what I would call the difference between losing and winning. And it's a hard balance, and it's never changed. That's never really changed. And it doesn't even just apply to sport. So, take Brady Tkachuk for an example. I mean, different than Matthew, great skill set, and there's just something incredibly infectious, Roddy, about Brady. It's hard not to be around him. You can tell his teammates love him. Like you, I'll be shocked if he's not the next captain of the Ottawa Senators. So I always think it's a lot of money for young people who are just getting their NHL careers started, but that's business of today. And, I applaud Pierre Dorion and Ottawa and Eugene Melnyk for making that investment. I think it's a good one. I really do.
Hey, if the Calgary Flames had named a captain, I'm sure I'd have heard about it. Are they going the whole year without, or what's happening there?
I don't know if they're going the whole year, Roddy, but, they're not in any hurry, and I don't think they should be in any hurry. When you lose someone of the ilk of their longtime captain, Mark Giordano, unless organically someone really, really steps up, I don't think that there's a huge need. And frankly, I don't know about you, my friend, but a lot of attention is paid to who wears the C. And in the Canadian market, I'm not saying that it's not important. And there's more that goes on in Canadian markets, and maybe in any market, because you're in some ways the first voice to the media when things are good, when things are bad. There's a lot of responsibility, but the Flames have a lot of veteran guys. Michael Backlund's had the longest tenure. Chris Tanev's been a great fit. Monahan is wearing an A. Tkachuk's wearing an A. So I don't think there's any hurry. And where this team is at right now, I think it's more leadership by committee anyway. until the brass really feels like, yep, that's our guy and that's where we're going.
I think every team's different. And I had a wonderful chat with Clark Gillies on this, guy who wore the C with the New York Islanders, but so too did Denny Potvin. And he said, on some teams, the captain's the guy that organizes team parties. You know what I mean? And on others, it is the guy that you just said, addressing the media, standing up in the room. It's different on every team. Clark would know. Are you of that belief that C means different things with different franchises?
I don't know if I think that's the case as much anymore. And I think, Rod, where your team is makes a big difference. It's different in Canada. I truly believe that. There's situations in the United States, obviously, that are under the same kind of pressure and scrutiny. But I think leadership in your room comes from a lot more places than just the guys that wear the C's and the A's. But it's interesting what you said, and I've heard that many times, obviously, from different players in different eras. But I think what's really, really important, Rod, in a lot of ways about your leadership is that person needs to be able, in however they get it done, to tie your whole group together. And when it's time to have the hard conversations, you have to have those. So, if I was looking on any team that I'd be a part of, those are the qualities that I'd be looking for first and foremost.
Hey, Lou, we got a few minutes left. My passion and yours are the same. Junior hockey. Winnipeg Ice moved up to, what did we say, number 2 in Canada. They thumped the Warriors last night. God's team. The Regina Pats have lost 5 in a row. They got the Blades Friday night. I'll be calling the game with Moose. How much you keeping an eye on the Dub happenings?
Well, I always do, Roddy. I go through every summary every single night. Yesterday, spent the day in Red Deer watching the Western Hockey League Cup, which is interesting even more so this year because generally these players from Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta, and BC have already been drafted, but because of the pandemic, that draft doesn't take place for this age group until December. And so, again, it's never going to change for me. I say it all the time. The Western Hockey League isn't a league. For me, it's like family. It really is, and I'll care about it until the day I leave the earth. And I try my best to get to as many games as I can, to follow it as closely as I possibly can. And even yesterday, it was so great to be up there. And needless to say, every team is well represented at that event, see familiar faces and long-time relationships with people. So I love it. It's in the blood, and it sure as heck isn't going anywhere anytime soon.
It's very, very special. Are you going to get a chance to see Bedard when he rolls through town?
I think I will. I just missed him in Winnipeg in the preseason. Regina came in the next night, so that was somewhat unfortunate. I still haven't seen him, unfortunately, yet in person. It still hasn't happened. I've obviously watched him, a ton on video and watched every single second of the World Under 18. I can't wait. But, Rod, the other thing about the Western League this year, and somebody will challenge me, and maybe we don't have to go back even very far when you think about, the 2001 birthdays with Kirby Doc and Dylan Cousins and Bowen Byram. That was a really good crop. But this 16-year-old crop in the Western Hockey League right now, it's as you know, you're closer to it than I am. It's exciting. It's really, really exciting, and way more than just Connor, who's obviously the cream of the crop.
Oh, yeah. I hope that people start to pay attention and get their tickets because, as you say, you haven't seen Bedard live. These kids are way better live. Absolutely. Lou, have a great call tonight, my friend. Always appreciate the time.
Okay, pal. And quickly, why not pay $25 when in 2 years from now you're going to pay 10 times that? Have a great day. Thanks for having me, Roddy. Be well.
Perfect. Toodaloo. Peter Loubardias joining us here in Cowtown Flames Game Day. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching the RP Show on YouTube. And don't forget, we're live daily on YouTube from noon to 2 Eastern. If you like what you see, hit subscribe. And if you like the program, check around for other segments of The Rod Pedersen Show here on YouTube.